fans out there, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Monday, November 18, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about Monday Night Raw. Alrighty, so let's kick things off talking about the opening segment, which was about Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Basically, this confirmed the War Games match. It's going to be Jade, Bianca, Naomi, Io Sky versus Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez. Why are Nia Jax and Liv Morgan on the same team when wasn't like Nia Jax feuding with Liv Morgan because for the Crown Jewel title? Anywho, the fifth person on Team Bianca is revealed to be none other than Rhea Ripley. Now, she came back and she had this whole face mask. Like, she kind of reminded me of Cody Rhodes. You know, when I thought this was a mid-segment to open the show. It was only done for the Women's War Games match. Oh, it definitely was. She reminded me of when Cody Rhodes had that face mask, or even Trish when she had the face mask. But yeah, she came out with the face mask, and she basically said War Games and attacked Liv. And then a brawl broke out. So I feel like there wasn't. She Jigsaw from Saw when she came out. War Games, Regal always. Yeah, we haven't had a Regal announce a War Game since he's returned to WWE. Hopefully that changes next year. But I just feel like the women's War Game match wasn't given the same thought and consideration that the men's War Games was considered. I feel like this was kind of thrown together last minute. You know, it seems like I know there were some interfeuds in here, like, you know, Liv and Raquel feuding with Jade and Bianca. Also, a callback to when Undertaker wore his face mask back in the day. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a callback. So, it feels like this was just thrown together like last minute, honestly. So, that's just my opinion. But this was, the whole point of this segment was just to bring back Rhea Ripley and to announce the War Games match. We're gonna mix tag. They threw this all together and just to have it in 2 weeks. Yeah, exactly. Like literally, like this, like literally, like next Saturday is the War Games match, and we just got the women's War Games match. Like we've had the men's War Games match locked in since probably WrestleMania, since like after WrestleMania. So it's like this was literally just thrown together. We're gonna mix tag matches. Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega versus Chad Gable and Ivy Nile. So I have to say, this was actually a pretty fun match. I really liked that they had some teases of the intergender. I know WWE doesn't really do intergender, but I really like those teases. Like when Ivy Nile was stomping on Rey Mysterio, or when Chad Gable catapulted Zelina Vega on... Rey Mysterio catapulted Zelina Vega onto Chad Gable and she did the Hurricanrana. I thought that was a cool spot. You know, but Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega win this. And, like, the Creeds come out to console Chad Gable, but he, like, pushes them away. And then he slaps Julius. Julius attacks Brutus. And then he basically tells us this is what he wants to see from them. I feel bad for American Alpha because, like, ever since they came together, they haven't really done much. Like, they haven't had, like, momentum. You know, they kind of had it early on, then they lost the momentum. And now I feel like they're just there. Like, I thought this group was supposed to, like, you know, American Made, you mean? Oh, what did I say? Oh, God, I'm botching again. American Made. Like, I feel so bad for American Made. Because, like, I feel like they just haven't done much since they came together. I know it's still kind of early in their in their faction run. But still, it's like, they lost to the Wyatt Six. Yeah, botch again for me. They lost to the Wyatt Six. They lost their feud with the LWO. You know, they didn't even, like, qualify for those tag titles. So it's like, where do we go with American Made here? You know, I kind of thought, like, I want this group, you know, I would want Chad Gable to win his singles gold, the Creed brothers to win the tag titles, and Ivy Niles to, if not win the women's title, at least maybe win the women's United States title if it comes to Raw. So, but we'll see where they go with American Made. Yes, botch. Add that to my list of botches. We had a Judgment Day segment, and Finn Balor basically takes over leadership, at least in this segment for Liv Morgan, because she has a lot on her plate. Now, I thought it was interesting that at the end, JD did tell Finn Balor that they needed to talk, because I wonder what they needed to talk about. I do think that this version of the Judgment Day is going to end up splitting sooner rather than later. I don't think this version of the Judgment Day is going to last much longer. I think that Finn Balor is going to be the reason this group breaks up, because he didn't seem too happy with the fact that Dominik got that title shot. We got a Miz and a Final Testament segment. And Miz, one of the things I like about this is just the way that this was filmed. But Miz is talking about how he gave the performance of a lifetime, because he said it was a masterclass of acting, convincing the Wyatts that they can change him. And he brings up the Marine 7 and carrying crosses, the Wyatts are not invisible. So it does invincible. So it does seem like we're going to get a match between the Final Testament and the Wyatt 6 here. Okay, so we get an interesting segment with Imperium. So you guys remember, Kaiser defended Gunter against Damien Priest. He spoke up for him. And Gunter basically tells Kaiser not to speak for him, but he tells him he needs to make a name for himself, speak for himself, and to stand on his own mat. So I thought this was interesting, because it would not surprise me if Kaiser's the one who turns on Gunter, and he eventually they turn Gunter face, because I feel like Gunter turning on Kaiser is too predictable. I feel like Kaiser turning on Gunter would be unexpected, but it seems like with him standing up for himself, I think that's gonna be the spark that's gonna lead to Kaiser turning on Gunter. And then Gunter takes it upon himself to attack Damien Priest, puts Priest in the sleeper, but then Priest kicks Gunter. It was a good promo, but I don't care for the match. What match are you talking about? Adam Pearce said Gunter needs ice. So definitely the feud between Gunter and Damien Priest is not over. I do think Damien Priest got under Gunter's skin when he said that Cody pinning him affected him. So 2025 could be the breakout year for Ludwig. I agree. I think 2025 would be his year. Final Testament of Miz vs. Wyatt 6. Oh, okay. We get an IC title match. Sheamus versus Bron Breakker. Now, the IC title is the one title that Sheamus has not won in his career with WWE. To be honest, Finn Balor would be kicked out of Judgment Day, I think. Really? I think he's going to be the reason they break up. So I thought this was a really good match, honestly. That top rope Frankensteiner to Sheamus was actually pretty cool. But Kaiser gets involved in this, and he attacks both Sheamus and Bron Breakker. So we're gonna get a triple. So we're gonna get, when we get a triple threat match out of this, are we gonna see Kaiser versus Bron Breakker versus Sheamus for that IC title, or are we gonna get Sheamus versus Kaiser again? Maybe we might get a triple threat, because he did attack both of them. So it seems like Kaiser wants that IC title for himself. You get a Seth Rollins segment, and basically, Seth Rollins is adamant that he's not gonna stand side by side with Roman Reigns, or Tyrant Roman Reigns as he calls him, but he did say he would stand side by side with Sami and the Usos. So Seth Rollins wants nothing to do with Roman Reigns, and he doesn't want to join this War Games match. But I think based on what happens in the main event, which I'll talk to him when I get there, he's gonna join. So Seth is so reluctant to join. I don't blame him. And Sami even brings up the fact that he teamed with Cody Rhodes. So if he was able to do it for Cody Rhodes, why not do it for Roman Reigns? So they're gonna do that whole can they coexist storyline. We get a Dakota Kai Vignette, and she's basically talking about how she's ready to show everyone why she's champion. And then, later on in that, we get a same unit with Lyra Valkyria, and she's basically talking about how since she got drafted to Raw, she thrived, she doesn't burn, she rises, and she's coming for everybody. So I actually really like these units. I feel like we get a showcase saying they can't coexist, pal. Said this Friday, Seth rather get pummeled on an inch on the life than team with Roman again. Oh, that's true. And I like these vignettes because we're getting to know these wrestlers. So I hope he continues to do more of these vignettes. I actually really like them, like these video promos, and especially like for the talent that aren't considered the big stars. I think it's a really good thing for them. So I actually really like it. We get the Warriors versus Dominik, Mysterio, and Carlito. So this was, I wouldn't say a squash match, but this was pretty much the Warriors match. I don't think Carlito and Dominik were going to win this at all. But at the end, JD and Finn Balor attack the Warriors and they focus their attack on Eric's neck because, he's had neck problems. So I do think the Warriors will eventually take those tag titles off of JD and Finn Balor. We get a Wyatt 6 segment, and I have to say, Bro Dallas is looking more and more like Bray Wyatt. He starts talking about how the Miz is a liar. They offered him salvation and freedom, and he apologized for what's going to happen next. So what are they going to do? During this, they showed a picture of, the Miz, who was, once again kidnapped by the Wyatt 6. We got a New Day and Alpha Academy segment. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the New Day, I know Adam Pearce on Raw said that they were going to do a New Day 10 celebration. And I believe their 10th anniversary is next Monday. But I haven't heard anything about them doing a celebration for their 10th anniversary. It just said that they were going to celebrate 10 years of the New Day. But we haven't really... Oh, it's November 20, 2024. That's the 10-year anniversary. Wait, November 2028, that's Thanksgiving. Heel turn is coming at Survivor Series. Yeah, I think so. So whenever they decide to do it, whether it be those after Survivor Series, yeah, we're going to see the breakup of the New Day. And even Xavier Woods says that he thinks Karrion Kross was right when he said the New Day is in, they just don't know it. The 10-year anniversary is soon, and I got a worried feeling. So do I. I think that's when the breakup is coming. It's going to be a barbershop or a festival of friendship. But basically, Xavier Woods challenges Alpha Academy to a match next week. And, Xavier Woods, brings up the fact that no wonder Chad Gable left their asses. I was like, dang, I can't believe he went there. But, yeah, I think Xavier Woods is going to be the one to turn heel here. Because he's the only one of the New Day that did not win singles gold. Also get Big E on the phone together, brothers on the same page. I could see Big E coming out and making an appearance. I don't know if he would take a bump because of his neck. But I could see Big E coming out and being there to celebrate the New Day's 10th anniversary. He was such a big part of the New Day. So the main event ends up being Bronson Reed versus Seth Freakin Rollins. Both bloodlines come on. Solo's bloodline jumped the barricade. The OG bloodline come to Solo's defense. Come and attack Solo's bloodline. I think Big E is not going to return. He can make an appearance. It would be really cool, especially during the 10th anniversary of the New Day. He should. So I thought this was a good match. Solo Sikoa ends up distracting Seth Rollins, allowing Bronson Reed to hit a Death Valley driver, a senton, and a tsunami. So Bronson Reed is victorious. Honestly, I don't really think Bronson Reed needed Solo Sikoa to beat Seth Rollins. I get why they did it storyline-wise, because now that Solo cost Seth Rollins this match, I could see Seth Rollins joining Team Bloodline. You can't have a celebration without the 3 members. Exactly, you can't. So, because even though he was hesitant, Solo basically got involved in his business. So I definitely do see Rollins joining. It's going to be interesting to see Rollins and Roman work together again. Can they coexist? What's Seth going to do next? Yeah, he's going to have to join the original Bloodline in that War Games match. Honestly, in my personal opinion, they should have just left it 4 versus 4. It should have just been Roman, the Usos, and Sami Zayn versus Solo, Tama Tonga, Tamaloa, and Bronson Reed. And Jacob fought too. I don't think there was any reason to include Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins in these. It should have just been 4 and 4, but that's just my opinion. So, all right, on scale from a 1 to a Sean Spears Perfect 10, for this being a taped Raw, it wasn't terrible. Yeah, it should have been 4 on 4. Exactly. It should have just been 4 on 4. This wasn't a terrible Raw for it being taped. I actually really like the IC title match. 6 out of 10, decent show. Check out me and Daz's Vulgar channel on my channel. Yep. I'm assuming they wanted Seth on pay-per-view or worried about the War Games might suck. No offense, Tangaloa. Yeah. So, and I did like the Bronson Reed Seth Rollins match. I did like the mixed tag match. I give it a 7 out of 10. I just felt like the opening segment was a little weak. Like I said, I feel like not much thought was given into the women's War Games match like they did for the men. All right. Well, with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. As far as tomorrow is concerned, you guys know normally I don't work Tuesdays, but tomorrow is a very special occasion. Tomorrow is a 2-year anniversary of JDM's passing. So me and my good friend Daniel, we're going to be doing a special live episode of Legacy of Power, where we will be talking about the most iconic Power Ranger of all time. Of course, none other than the Green Ranger. So if you like Power Rangers, make sure you tune in for that. And if you don't, then I will see you guys Wednesday after AEW Dynamite. Bye.